what if the real winners are the machines we completely forgot? What if a machine solved a problem so well that the problem itself disappeared? These are the forgotten giants. Machines from Germany, Austria, Italy, the UK, and Czechoslovakia. They introduced ideas so clever, so powerful, that they were absorbed by the entire industry. Today, their engineering DNA is hidden inside every modern machine. These machines did not fail. They are invisible because they won. This is the top 10 forgotten European machines that changed history. Number 10. Holder A20. In 1954, farmers in Germany had a serious problem. Vineyards are planted in very narrow rows, often on steep hills. A normal tractor was too wide and too clumsy. It would destroy the valuable grapes. So, how do you farm there? Max Holder built the answer. His 1954 Holder A20 was not just a small tractor. It was a new kind of machine. It was built on a system of 3 ideas that all had to work together. First, it had articulated steering. This means it bent in the middle to steer. Second, it had permanent all-wheel drive. Third, it had 4 wheels that were all the exact same size. This combination was genius. Because all 4 wheels were the same size, the front and rear wheels always ran in the same tracks. This gave it a tiny turning circle and amazing grip, all while being just 46.9 inches wide. Holder A20 could go where no tractor could go before. Max Holder did not just build a tractor. He invented the entire category of compact, articulated 4-wheel drive machines. Number 9. Fendt Dieselross. The Holder A20 solved a physical problem, but our next machine, from 1930, solved a problem of the mind. In 1930, Germany was in a deep depression. A farmer's most trusted partner was his horse. Then, Johann and Hermann Fendt built a machine to replace it. It was the first European small tractor with a 6-horsepower engine. But farmers were not interested in a loud, oily, complicated machine. They loved their horses, so Fendt did something brilliant. They did not try to sell a tractor. They sold a Dieselross. That name means diesel horse. The marketing was simple. This is not a new machine, it is just a better horse. It works all day and never gets tired. It eats cheap diesel, not expensive oats. It never gets sick. The name itself permitted farmers to finally make the switch from animal to machine. The Dieselross was a good tractor, but it was the name that freed the farmer. Number 8. Unimog. Fendt proved a machine could replace a horse. But what about a machine that could replace a tractor, a truck, and a delivery vehicle all at once? After World War II, Germany was in ruins. They needed one machine that could do everything. The answer was the Unimog. First built in 1948. Its most famous feature is its portal axles. Here is what that means. On a normal truck, the axle is in the center of the wheel. On a Unimog, the axle is above the center of the wheel. Gears inside the hub send power down to the wheel. This lifts the whole belly of the machine high off the ground. It gives the Unimog legendary off-road ability. But this machine's secret is not just for climbing. Its original track width was set at 1,270 millimeters. Why that exact number? It was the perfect width to drive over 2 rows of potatoes. Before it was a military legend, the Unimog was a humble farm tool. Number 7. MB-Trac. The Unimog's DNA was pure agriculture. Mercedes-Benz, who bought Unimog in 1951, took that DNA and in 1973 asked a new question. What if we focus not on the ground, but on the driver? The result was the MB-Trac. The first thing you notice is the 4 massive, equal-sized wheels, just like a Unimog. The second thing you notice is the cab. It is not sitting over the back wheels, it is right in the middle. This design changed everything. Placing the cab in the center gave it perfect 50-50 weight distribution for better pulling power. It gave the driver a clear view in all directions. and it created 3 tool spaces, one on the front, one on the back, and a new one behind the cab. But the central cab unlocked the MB-Trac's greatest secret. On some models, the entire driver's station could be turned around. The seat, the steering wheel, and all the controls. This reverse drive system was so advanced it won an engineering medal in 1984. The MB-Trac was the first tractor to prove that operator comfort was a powerful engineering tool. Number 6. Steyr 8090. Mercedes proved comfort was a feature, but over in Austria, the Steyr company was focused on a different kind of feature. Quiet, professional competence. Steyr 8090 from 1988 was not a flashy tractor. It was a serious tool for serious work. It came with a powerful 80 horsepower turbocharged engine and a 4-wheel drive option for climbing the steep Austrian hills. But the 8090's innovations were hidden in the details. It offered advanced hydrostatic steering, making long days in the field much easier. It also had an optional front PTO, so farmers could run machines on the front and back at the same time. Its deepest secret, though, was a small lever for the PTO. It had 3 positions. One was a standard engine-driven PTO. One was neutral, but the third was ground-driven. This allowed the tractor's wheels to power the wheels on a trailer or implement. In the mud and snow of the Alps, this feature turned a 4-wheel drive tractor and its trailer into a nearly unstoppable 8-wheel drive machine. Number 5. Nuffield Universal. Austria's machines were built for the Alps, but in 1945, Great Britain needed a machine built for a different reason: national pride. The war was over, but the country was rebuilding. The British government was worried it relied too much on American tractors. They went to Lord Nuffield of Morris Motors and asked him to build a new, all-British tractor. To design it, Lord Nuffield hired a man named Dr. Herbert Merritt. This was a very important choice. Dr. Merritt's last big project, he designed Crusader tanks for the war. He built the Nuffield Universal just like a tank. It was simple, heavy, and incredibly tough. When it finally launched at the Smithfield Show in 1948, it was painted a bright, distinctive poppy orange. It was a bold color for a bold statement. The Nuffield Universal was a rolling symbol that Britain could still build its own future. Number 4. Steyr CVT. The Nuffield proved that old-school toughness was an innovation. But our next entry proves that true innovation means throwing the old school away. For 100 years, tractors had gears. You shift, the tractor jerks, you shift again. In the 1990s, 2 companies, Fendt and Steyr, raced to build a stepless transmission. A transmission with no gears and no jolts. History says Fendt won. They released their Vario transmission in 1995. Steyr's first CVT tractor did not come out until 1999. So why is Steyr on this list? Because of what happened next. Steyr was purchased by Case Corporation, which became CNH. The new parent company immediately took their brilliant Steyr-designed S-Matic transmission. The Steyr name was removed. That S-Matic design was put inside Case IH tractors, where it was called the CVX. Steyr's invention was a huge success, but it was forgotten because its name was stripped away, while Fendt's Vario became world famous. Number 3. Lamborghini 2241R. Steyr's innovation was a technical secret, but for our number 3, the secret was hiding in plain sight, right before the supercar. Everyone knows the legend. Ferruccio Lamborghini, a tractor builder, got in a fight with Enzo Ferrari over a bad clutch and decided to build his own car. But most people think his tractors were just simple farm tools. They are wrong. The 1961 Lamborghini 2241R was a piece of high-end engineering. It had a precision, air-cooled diesel engine. It was beautiful, and only 730 of them were ever built. But its real secret was a feature almost unheard of in 1961. It did not have mechanical brakes. It had a full hydraulic braking system. This was supercar-level technology, decades ahead of its time. It proves Ferruccio's obsession with quality and performance did not start with his cars. It started with his tractors. Today, collectors know this. 2241 are sold at auction in 2022 for $48,000. Number 2. Zetor Crystal, a $48,000 tractor. It is amazing what is hidden in history. Have you ever seen a vintage Lamborghini tractor in real life? Let us know in the comments. Now, from Italian luxury, we go behind the Iron Curtain, and we have to correct a popular myth. You may have heard that Zetor tractors from Czechoslovakia were painted red for export to the West and blue for the Soviet bloc. This is not true. That color story comes from dealer awards in Poland in 2018. In the 1980s, the real story was much smarter. Zetor needed to earn Western money. So their propaganda was not a color. The propaganda was the tractor itself. The Zetor Crystal was a 150 horsepower beast. Its cab was called a glass house because the visibility was so amazing, and it offered a feature that was almost unbelievable for an Eastern Bloc machine: factory air conditioning. The Zetor Crystal was a rolling message designed to prove that communist engineering was just as good or even better than the West. Number 1. Ferguson Type A, black tractor. Zetor's cab was a revolution in comfort, but our number 1 machine was a revolution in physics. It is arguably the most important tractor ever built, and you have probably never heard its name. In 1933, an Irish inventor named Harry Ferguson built one tractor, just one. It is called the Ferguson Type A, or the Black Tractor. Today it sits in the Ulster Transport Museum. It is not for sale. It is on loan from Harry Ferguson's family, a priceless piece of history. So what did it do? It was the first tractor to use the Ferguson system. It combined his 3-point hitch with an automatic hydraulic system. Here is the magic. On a normal tractor, if your plow hits hard soil, the wheels spin and you get stuck. On Ferguson's tractor, the plow is connected by 3 points. When it hits hard soil, the pulling force automatically tells the hydraulics to lift the plow just a tiny bit. This action transfers the weight of the plow and the soil onto the tractor's back wheels. More weight means more grip. The tractor pulls right through. It was a small, light, cheap tractor that used physics to pull like a heavy one. This single idea was so perfect, so revolutionary, that it is still used on almost every single tractor built in the world today. 10 machines, 10 forgotten ideas that changed the world, portal axles, center cabs, stepless transmissions, and the 3-point hitch. Every modern tractor you see is built on the ghosts of these giants. They are not forgotten because they failed. They are forgotten because they won. They solved their problems so completely that the problems themselves disappeared. That is not failure. That is immortality. Which of these machines do you think was the most revolutionary? Let us know in the comments. And subscribe for more stories about the machines that built our world.